Good day everyone, this is Rafael Marceliones Demotor under Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Social Studies. Today we are going to discuss the topic about information processing theory. First, we have our objectives. Describe the processes involved in acquiring, storing, and retrieving knowledge. Second would be cite educational application of the theory on information processing. Now let us move on to our introduction. Information processing is a cognitive theoretical framework that focuses on how knowledge enters and is stored in and is retrieved from our memory. It is one of the most significant cognitive theories in the last century, and it has strong implication on the teaching-learning process.
Knowledge can be broader categorized into explicit and tacit knowledge. Explicit knowledge is formal, codified and easily transferable, while tacit knowledge is personal, experimental, and harder to articulate.
General knowledge refers to broad information that is widely known and applicable in across various contexts. For example, knowing that the Philippines' capital city is Manila. On the other hand, specific knowledge is more detailed and specialized, often relevant to a particular field of situation. For instance, understanding the specific chemical reactions involved in photosynthesis is a form of specific knowledge within the field of biology.
So in the type of knowledge, there are procedural knowledge. So procedural knowledge refers to knowing how to perform a specific task or procedures. It involves practical skills and the ability to execute specific actions. An example of procedural knowledge is being able to ride a bicycle. It's about knowing the steps and movements required to balance and pedal effectively. So in declarative knowledge involve knowing what is and include facts, information, and statement about the world. It is the knowledge of concept and their interrelationship. An example of declarative knowledge is understanding that the capital of France is Paris, or knowing the chemical formula for water.
Episodic knowledge refers to personal experiences or events that are specific to an individual and are tied to a particular time and place. It involves memories of specific episodes or incidents in one's lives. For instance, remembering your last vacation with family or your last heartbreak.
Knowledge involves information or skills that are context-dependent, means that applicability of this knowledge is contingent upon specific conditions, scenarios, or circumstances. The example of fixing a flat tire. The knowledge of changing a tire is available when faced with a specific condition, a flat tire on your vehicle outside of this situation. The knowledge may not be directly relevant or applicable. Essentially, conditional knowledge highlights the idea that what we know or can do may have limited relevance and effectiveness tied to particular situation or requirement.
So knowledge comes in two main types: stuff we can easily write down or share like facts and information, and the kind that's more personal based on our experiences and skills. Both types are important for understanding things and solving problems in different areas.
The information process theory indeed possesses three primary stages for information processing. One is encoding. So this is initial stage where information enters the mind through our senses. It involves attending to the information, perceiving it, and assigning meaning to it. For example, when you see a red apple, you are encoding its visual features such as color, shape, or size, and associating it with your existing knowledge of apples. Number 2, storage. So this stage refers to how information is sealed in different memory systems. It involves transferring information from sensory memory to short-term memory for temporary storage and manipulation, and subsequently transferring crucial information from short-term memory to long-term memory for more permanent storage or retrieval. Number 3, to retrieval. So this final stage describes how we access information stored in long-term memory. It involves searching for specific memory, categorizing them, and bringing them back into our consciousness awareness. For example, remembering your grandmother's birthday cake recipe involves retrieving the stored information about the ingredients and steps from long-term memory. So it's important to note that those stages are not rigid and independent. They interact and influence each other. Encoding can be effect on how information is stored, and retrieve can be sometimes influence how memories are encoded later. So in conclusion here, imagine your brain as a computer. Information process theory is like a roadmap of how that computers work, focusing on how we take in, store, and use information. Its purpose, 3 main stages. 1 is to input our senses, capture information from the world like sight, sound, smell, and touches. Think of it as like a data going into your computer RAM. Number 2, processing. This is where the funds happens. Our short-term memory temporarily holds the information. Like files open your computer program, we can manipulate it, organize it, or decide on what to do with it. And number 3 is the output, where the processed information is either used like giving a presentation based on what you learned, or sent to long-term storage like remembering the presentation later, and this is also saving files on your computer hard drive. So IPT helps us to understand how we learn, remember, and forget things. It's also used in education, training, and even therapy to improve how we handle information. So that's all.
Good day everyone, my name is Angel Kaye Remperas, and today my report is all about sensory register. So in sensory register process, the brain obtains information from the environment. So this activity is short, lasting at most a few seconds. So during sensory register, the brain gathers information passively through visual and auditory cues. This is also known as respectively as iconic and echoic memory. So, by the way, the first step in the IP model holds all sensory information for a very brief time. So first is the capacity. So our mind receives a great amount of information, but it is more than what our minds can hold or perceive. Second is the duration. So the sensory register only holds the information for an extremely brief period. So in the order of 1 to 3 seconds only. So next is there is a difference in duration based on modality. Auditory and memory is more persistent than visual. So we have here the 5 sensory registers or the 5 sensory memory. First is the seeing, which is iconic. Second is hearing, echoic. Tactile, which touch. Olfactory, smell, and gustatory, taste. By this one, scientists understand less about touch, smell, and taste sensory memories. So much more is known about the memories acquired through seeing and hearing. So that's all for my report. Thank you and have a great day.
Hello everyone, I am Salem Cañete, and today I will report about short-term memory or STM. So short-term memory, it is also known as a working memory. So it is the mental workspace where we hold a limited amount of information for temporary use. So it acts as a bridge between perception and long-term memory. So allowing us to actively manipulate and process information before committing it to permanent storage. So understanding STM is crucial for comprehending learning, reasoning, and decision-making processes. So there are 4 key characteristics of short-term memory. So the first one is capacity. The second one is duration. The third one is content. And the last one is function. And also, there are 4 factors affecting short-term memory. So the first one is attention. The second one is rehearsal. And the third one is chunking. And the last one is individual differences. So, in conclusion, short-term memory is a complex yet critical cognitive function that underpins our ability to think, learn, and interact with the world. So, understanding its limitations and optimizing its performance through various strategies and interventions can significantly enhance our overall cognitive efficiency and well-being.
Long-term memory refers to the storage of information over an extended period of time, ranging from minutes to years. It is one of the three main components of the memory system, alongside sensory memory and short-term memory. Long-term memory is responsible for storing and retrieving information that we have acquired through learning and experiences. It has a vast capacity and can hold a wide range of information, including facts, events, skills, and concepts. There are two main types of long-term memory: the explicit memory, also known as the declarative memory, and implicit memory, or also known as the non-declarative memory. First is the explicit memory. This type of memory involves conscious recall and is further divided into two subtypes. The episodic memory. It refers to the memory of specific events or episodes in our lives, such as birthday, party, or a vacation. Second is the semantic memory. It involves the storage of general knowledge, facts, and concepts that are tied to a specific event or personal experience, such as knowing the capital of a country or understanding the meaning of the words. Now let's go to the second types of long-term memory, the implicit memory. This type of memory is unconscious and does not require conscious effort to recall. It includes various types of non-conscious memories, such as the procedural memory. It involves the memory of motor skills and how to perform certain tasks, such as riding a bike or playing a musical instrument. Priming. It refers to the influence of a previous stimulus on the response to a subsequent stimulus, even when we are not consciously aware of the initial stimulus. Conditioning. It involves the association between stimuli and responses, such as classical conditioning. Long-term memory is believed to involve structural and chemical changes in the brain, particularly in the connections between neurons. It is a complex and fascinating aspect of human cognition that allows us to retain and retrieve information over extended periods of time. Here is the example of long-term memory.
Wait, Joy, you could get lost in there.
Think positive.
Okay, I'm positive you will get lost in there. That's long-term memory. An endless warren of corridors and shelves. I read about it in the manuals.
The manuals? The manuals! You read the manuals!
Yeah,
So you know the way back to headquarters!
I guess.
You are my map. Let's go! Lead on, mind map! Show me where we're going!
Okay, only I'm too sad to walk. Just give me a few hours. Oh,
Which way? Left?
right. No, I mean go left. I said left was right, like correct.
Okay.
This actually feels kind of nice.
Okay, here we go. We'll be back to headquarters before morning. We can do it. This'll be easy. This is working!
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Noche. In this report, I am about to present insightful information about executive control processes. This is a cognitive functions that help us manage, control, and manipulate information in our minds. They are important for decision making, problem solving, planning, and attention. We can use these processes to focus on what's important. Today, we will witness on how executive control processes applied in this scenario. Problem solving. So the company project faced a problem. Let's see how the project manager find a solution. I'm really frustrated with this problem arising in the project. It's been causing a lot of stress and I need to find a solution. I should provide solution in this matter.
Our company is facing decrease in sales and we're struggling to meet our targets. I'm worried about the future of the company. Hopefully by doing this customer survey can solve the problem that the company is facing right now. Okay, so as what we noticed, when a problem arises in the project manager find a solution. She created a customer survey. So in that scenario, the executive control processes helps the manager to analyze the problem, consider different solutions, and choose the most effective one. Executive control processes also cognitive processes that are responsible for managing and controlling our thoughts, actions, and behavior. So here is another scenario on how executive control applied. Planning. The project manager's planning her project timeline. Let's see what she will do. First, I need to define the project scope and objectives. What are my goals to achieve in this project timeline? With all the tasks, dependencies, and durations identified, I can now create a visual representation of my project timeline. And also, I should regularly monitor and update the project timeline as the project progresses. This will help me identify any delays or changes that needs to address promptly. So as what we noticed in that scenario, Ms. Noche created her project timeline including when each task should be completed. So in that scenario, her executive control processes help her to organize the task, set deadlines, and create a plan. These are a few examples of executive control processes. So to sum up, executive control processes are important for our functioning. They allow us to make decisions. We use these processes in many areas of our lives. Our ability to manage information, make decisions, and solve problems can be improved by understanding and improving our executive control processes. That would be all for executive control processes. The following topics will be discussed by the next reporters.
Forgetting is the inability to recall or retrieve information that was previously stored in memory. It can occur due to various factors such as time passing, interference from other information, or problems with encoding and retrieval process in the brain. Forgetting also is a natural aspect of human memory characterized by the inability to retrieve previously stored information. It can be influenced by factors like passage of time, interference, or issues with the encoding and retrieval processes in the brain. Understanding the mechanism behind forgetting contributes to a better comprehension of memory function and human cognition.
Hi, my name is Sergeant Polestico, and today I will be discussing about the summary report of information processing theory. So what are the topics or the lesson that is being discussed? So first would be what are the types of knowledge. So first is general or specific. So in general or specific, the knowledge can be broadly applicable or specific to certain contexts. Second would be declarative. So in declarative, it involves factual information and is expressed in statements. Third would be procedural. So it concerned with how to do something, often involving skills. Next would be episodic. So it relates to personal experiences and events. And lastly would be conditional. So it involves understanding conditions for applying knowledge. So there are stages of information processing as well. And one would be encoding. So in encoding, guys, it is the process of inputting information into the memory system, which next would be storage. So in the storage, it is the retaining encoded information over time. And next would be retrieval. So it is the recalling stored information when needed. You're correct. And next will be executive control processes. So what is this? It is the sensory register, which means initial processing of sensory information, acting as a temporary store before further processing. So it is the information processing theory emphasizes how individuals receive, store, and retrieve information. So it is the various types of knowledge highlight the diverse forms information can take. So the stages of encoding, storage, and retrieval, it outlined the sequential processes involved in information processing. Additionally, guys, the executive control processes of the sensory register illustrates the initial filtering of sensory input. So by understanding these components enhances our insights into cognitive processes and memory function.